In this episode of 5 Minutes of Cloud, we're going to look at cloud from the perspective of the developer. When we talk about cloud services, most people actually think about this in terms of a couple of different things. Often they think about it in terms of the business performance aspect. Hey, I can reduce my costs, I can make things more flexible. But the real value comes from a developer being able to consume and leverage cloud resources. The number one value proposition for a developer consuming cloud is the ability to actually deploy services and test services in a fashion that is much faster than they've ever been able to do in the past. Even in the world of virtualization, effectively the middle ground between classic physical data center infrastructure and the new all cloud service provider led infrastructure, is this ability to ask for service automatically, to automate the process of asking for service. And I think even more critically, the ability to release that service back into the pool. Now suddenly the need to potentially turn on another computer to do some validation against a concept model for an application doesn't require a budgetary process, an approval process, potentially a procurement process, and finally an installation process to actually enable that service. Now the developer has the potential ability to operate the environment themselves, to turn on new service when they need it, do testing against that service, and then turn it off when they're finished with that testing. It's that turn it off component that always gets people, though, when they think about cloud. We are inherently lazy in a sense when we talk about development and deployment, and turning things off is the last thing that we think of. One of the things that I saw in the IT space that I always thought was amazing, but also very interesting from a psychology of use perspective, was this concept of automating the deletion of services, because the IT department was trying to recover resources that were being consumed. So they would send you a reminder a month after you turned a service on saying, hey, if you're not using this service, we'd like you to turn it off. But invariably, the people who had deployed these services said, well, oh, but I might need that, so I'll basically ask for you to keep running the service, even though a machine had been turned on, used once, and then was sitting there idle. But it was a resource that had been consumed. So getting over that hurdle is a major challenge for many developers, many IT operators, many resources across the world consuming cloud resource and cloud environments. But that is a big shift that has to happen. The other component that really drives developers to be excited about cloud is the concept of this automation capability. One of the big reasons that the Amazon Web Services cloud became so popular was because developers suddenly had a way to ask for a resource, for example, to enable test, but to automate that process, to really make it available and possible for service discovery, for test development, test environments to be built out. And when we look at the end-to-end agile workflow, specifically the concept of continuous integration for development, and now even continuous delivery and deployment for development, we look at the automation that was enabled by cloud services. It's not that this didn't exist in the past, but actually automating the deployment of a physical server or even a virtual machine was actually fairly complicated. It required quite a bit of engineering prowess just to automate the tasks. With modern cloud services, the interfaces are very simple. There are command line tools and scriptable tools for actually doing this kind of automation. And suddenly the ability to turn a virtual machine off or on and back off again is something that just about any developer, even the simplest developer who's just learning the ropes of development, can actually enable that as a part of their deployment model. When you then start looking at continuous integration, where you also want to start testing against your actual application environment, the virtual world is effectively the only way to do this in a cost-effective manner, because now I can go and deploy an equivalent of my actual production environment in the virtual world, run a set of tests against it, potentially even spin up the test environment, which might be even more hardware than one would ever have access to in the physical world. Now that it's been virtualized and automatable, I can turn that service on, run my tests, and then turn the service off again when I've completed it. These sorts of capabilities are what are really driving the development aspect of cloud. The flexibility of enabling service when needed, hopefully releasing it when it's done, and honestly the best way to make that aspect happen, that life cycle happen, is to automate the entire process, because we are inherently lazy. We often forget to turn the services off that we've turned on. So we see those sorts of capabilities, and again, it's this value, this ability to automatically deploy service, to get service when it's needed, to be able to turn on a new test environment, just to test out an idea, that suddenly adds flexibility to the development lifecycle and really drives developers to want to have access to cloud-based resources. Thanks for watching. This was Robert Starmer bringing you 5 Minutes of Cloud. 5 Minutes of Cloud is brought to you by Cumulus Technologies, the company I actually work for, and we really appreciate the fact that you actually attended and watched this little segment. We obviously have a YouTube channel here, so please subscribe to that. We have Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Yeah, I do actually find some interesting things to say on Twitter once in a while. And on top of that, we have a mailing list. If you subscribe to the mailing list, we have a free report, basically 5 pitfalls of cloud that you can avoid if you get my report. So why don't you hop on over to our website, sign up for the mailing list. You'll get that report delivered to your inbox shortly after signing up. And I think that's also another very interesting and important read. Thanks so much again for watching.